Things have been especially crazy in recent years. We used to live in what seemed like a much simpler world, a world where we could all agree on what's right, what's wrong, and what's just plain absurd. So, how did we get from here to here? Let's find out. We know that getting to the bottom of this is a hefty ask. Every generation likes to push the envelope. Times are always going to change and evolve. But the state of the things today just feels way more out there. Maybe I was just sheltered, but back when I was a kid, I felt like people had a shared idea of right and wrong. Speaking of right and wrong, what happened to the trope of the hero that tries to do the right thing even when nobody's watching? Just because that's what all of us flawed humans should aspire to. At the end of the day, we at least knew that we could do our best and be proud that we made good choices. So, what the happened? We can all point fingers for various culprits to this problem. Now, we live in a world of sometimes extreme political biases that are causing otherwise good-intentioned people to act in the best interest of their party and not always reality. There's this website I came across that I found interesting. The article is called 12 Types of Cognitive Bias That Influences Your Thinking. It's a great read that I'll link in the description. It has some good insights into the innermost workings of the mind and why we might think what we think. In the wise words of Patrick Starr, the inner workings of my mind are an enigma. The main takeaways from this article is that yes, we have a lot of cope, like a lot. But these jumped out as I think a big proponent of what's going on today.
No.
Two of the biases stuck out to me the most. Number one is the actor-observer bias. In a nutshell, this is when we perceive a situation more favorably if it affects us directly, and more negatively if it's someone else. This explains why we can see the same situation and view it differently, simply based on what our political team thinks about it. The other one, and it's another huge culprit in today's climate, is the status quo bias. Now, we are all guilty of sticking to the same thing because new just seems unknown and scary. We trust what we know is familiar and overlook sometimes anything that requires change that can be even sometimes best for us overall. As the article points out, quote, one study found that people who rated high on the status quo bias exhibited unfavorable health behaviors, end quote. This is all very interesting, but I continued anyway researching to see if I could uncover some other reasons for this behavior. That's when I came across something called the false consensus effect. This level of cope is when we overguesstimate how many people think like us. When we live inside of echo chambers, we get more convinced that all the good people agree, and that all those who don't agree with us on anything are viewed as them, and them ain't good. In some extreme instances, this leads to bubbling ourselves in what and whom we agree with, creating identity and belonging. Not with who we are as ever-changing, empathetic, and well-intentioned messes, but as always right and never on the wrong side. My side is the right one, after all. This kind of thinking may feel good in the moment, but it can lead to really poor decision-making as we have complete intolerance for those who are not like us. So, can we come back from this? Well, yeah. Look in the mirror and ask yourself some hard questions. We all want to be the hero of our story, but being a hero means that you need to really do what's right. Not what the group says, but what your logic says. But hey, that's just a theory. This isn't that channel? I really need to get an outro. Subscribe and smack that ding-a-ling if you want more.